Creepercraft Guy here. Before we get this episode of Fakemon underway, I just need to make two announcements. Or not announcements, just, what's the word I'm looking for? Just two notes, that's it. First of all, sorry about the mask. The only reason I'm wearing the mask right now is because my face is incredibly scruffy right now. I woke up on the wrong side of bed this morning, and I just needed to, and I just really don't want to show my face like that on camera. You understand. My second thing I need to talk about, and this is the more important one, at the end of every Fakemon video I make, I always tell everyone that the descriptions for the Pokemon in the video are in the description below, and I can understand, no one's ever spoken about it, but I can understand that people would be like, they go into the description, and the description is completely empty, and I need to make it aware that, I don't fill in the description the minute I upload the video, I do it later. So basically what's happening is I'm going to upload the video, and then sometime later, I'm going to fill in the description. So I just thought I'd let you know about that, because that seemed a bit of an important thing, because I'm always like, okay, go in the description, look at the Fakedex descriptions, and you go there and they're not there. If they're not there, then maybe like come back to the video later, and then they might be there. So that's all I wanted to say. And without further ado, let's just get this video underway. So in the last episode where we covered the fossil Pokemon, I did kind of tease at the fact that today we will be going over the pseudo-legendary Pokemon. But that's not all we're going to be doing. We're going to be looking at a couple of other Pokemon in the Pokedex. And funnily enough, these are the last Pokemon in the Dex before we actually cover the legendaries. So let's start off with this one here. So this Pokemon is called Furozious. It's the polar Pokemon. It is not the pseudo-legendary. It is kind of like this region's version of Drampa or Turtonator. It is basically like the big dragon Pokemon that doesn't have an evolution or a pre-evolution and doesn't really need one. It's very friendly, and lots of people in the region, in the Grendor region, love it, even though it's quite rare. The reason I came up with it is because one of my absolute favourite type combinations, and one I think has a lot of potential, is Ice and Dragon, which is what type Furozious is. But the only Ice and Dragon type in the game right now is Kyurem, which is a legendary. So yeah, I didn't want that, so I made my own Ice and Dragon type in the form of this thing. And I really like it. Furozious is one of my favourite things in this Dex. But moving on, next we have this Pokemon here, which is like a baby elephant Pokemon. This is Gattlephant. It's a baby elephant Pokemon. It's a normal and rock type. And basically, the trick with this one is, like, you know how people, when they eat watermelons, they, like, they chew the watermelon up and they spit the seeds out? Gattlephant is kind of the same. Basically, what they do is they suck up small pebbles with their trunks and then shoot them out like a Gatling gun. They also do it with Melon Seeds. But Gattlephant evolves into this Pokemon here, Elephire, which basically is the same premise, but it can suck up, but instead of sucking up pebbles like a Gatling gun and shooting them out like a Gatling gun, they suck up boulders and shoot them out like cannons. So yeah, I really like this Pokemon. It's one of my absolute favourites in the Dex. This is very cool Pokemon, and I had a lot of fun making it. Now we get on to a Pokemon that's a bit confusing. Now, as you can see, the background looks a bit like an owl, and that's because this Pokemon was originally an owl, but I decided to scrap it. So instead of that Pokemon, we now have this Pokemon. This is Scurrolonne. It's a dark and electric type Thunderstorm Pokemon. And it's basically kind of like Zebstrika, but a big cat. Not really much else I can say about it. You can look at the description in the Pokedex if you want, but there's that. And now we finally get onto the title of this video, which is the pseudo-legendary Pokemon. It starts off with Frimp, the Imp Pokemon. Now, before I actually go over the evolution line for Frimp and its final evolution, which is the big pseudo-legendary, I have to say that one thing I don't really enjoy about pseudo-legendaries is the fact that the majority of them are dragon type. There are only 2 pseudo-legendary Pokemon which aren't dragon types, and that's Metagross and Volcarona. Frimp and its evolutions are a type that I find really annoying to deal with and really overpowered, and that is Dark Ghost. Its only weakness being Fairy, and so it's pretty powerful. As you can see, they hold a fork. They're kind of like Timber when they hold like the wooden beam, but like they have a little fork instead. They're not born with them, they make them out of things that around where they are born. But they basically upgrade it as they evolve. So Frimp, which to start off with, then evolves into Oddevil. Again, Dark and Ghost type, it's the Devil Pokemon. And they are very mischievous, as you can probably see from the way they look, but they also have like a duty to fill, which you can check out in the description. And then Oddevil, at a very high level I imagine, evolves into the pseudo-legendary Pokemon of this region, Weird Demon. Again, Dark Ghost, it's the demon Pokemon, and they are very rebellious and they only listen to their trainer. But basically they have these weird 2-ended spears, and basically there have been studies, but they cannot identify what exactly the spear is made from. So that is all I have for now, though. In the next episode, I'm going to give you a bit of a teaser, actually. Here is the first of all the legendary Pokemon that we're going to be covering in the next and maybe final episode of Fakemon. And when I say final episode, I mean it's not the final episode of the series, but it's the final episode where we're going to be going over the Pokedex. Because we literally just have the legendaries left, and that's it. So, until next time, bye guys!